Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is directed by Jeff Fowler and tells a story about how Shadow the Hedgehog, the ultimate life form, escapes imprisonment after being imprisoned by Gun, the military organization, for 50 years. He wants to take out revenge on both Gun and humanity for them basically destroying his life. They did experiments on him for his entire life, and they were the cause of the death of his one and only friend, Maria. So Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles have to take on Shadow the Hedgehog before him and Gerald Robotnik do some dastardly deeds to destroy the Earth, basically. And they need help from none other than Dr. Robotnik, portrayed by Jim Carrey, the best part of all these films. I was never the biggest fan of Sonic the Hedgehog as a kid. I always liked him. I liked the Sonic X show. I liked Sonic Riders on the GameCube and the Wii. I liked Sonic Heroes from what little I played of it. And I liked those cool fighting games on the Game Boy. But I never really played the mainline Sonic games, the side-scrollers, and I really want to get to that because they look really fun. But I do like these Sonic films a lot. I like Sonic the Hedgehog from 2020. It's a pretty damn good, enjoyable time. It's simple, it's fun, and it's simple. It doesn't stray too much away from, the cool Sonic stuff in the film. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 ups the ante. It introduces Knuckles, Tails. It's just a damn good time. And Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is the best film out of all of them. Has the best action, has the best Sonic the Hedgehog fun stuff happening, has the best humor. It's just an all-around really enjoyable film that's amplified because of all the cool Sonic stuff in it. I'm going to talk about all the stuff I love in a bit. I want to get through a little bit of criticisms I had. That being the editing. I think it's a little choppy here and there. There's a moment where Shadow throws Sonic to the ground and there's a big impact, but we immediately cut to Sonic already standing up because Shadow, he grabs him and they shoot down to the ground. They break the ground. There's a big shockwave, and then we cut to Sonic just immediately standing up. We don't get him getting up. He's just already stood up, being like, "All right, where are you, Shadow?" It's just a little choppy, and it's a little noticeable, and it's off. There's a moment where Stone, Dr. Eggman's assistant in the film, he's underground in Eggman's crab machine, but Tails does something with the water in the sewer to push the machine out, and it gets damaged, but we just cut to, after all the stuff goes down in that sequence, we just cut to Stone just dragging himself out of the water with the machine in the background all destroyed. I'm thinking, how did the machine really get destroyed? And how is it up in the water? And why are we just cutting to just this weird shot? There's just a few little weird wonky moments in the editing throughout the film like that. As much as I like Ben Schwartz as Sonic in these films, I thought he was just a little too jokey in this film. Don't get me wrong, he has some funny lines, but there's just a little too many moments. Not that they weren't funny or humorous. It's just I didn't need to hear too many of those little quips here and there. It was just a little too much, I'll say that, a little too much. The special effects, they got better as the films went on. They're good in Sonic, they're better in Sonic 2, and they're the best in Sonic 3. You can tell that there's a lot of detail put into the Sonic characters when you look at their gloves and shoes. They look so polished, and they have scratches and buffs, and they're shiny and reflective, and the characters with their quills, they're really damn good. And there's a lot of detail, and there's definitely a lot of work put into them. And especially all the Eggman machines that he has. You can tell how polished and smooth they look. But there's just a few moments here and there where either the movement of a lot of the CG stuff looks a little off, and there's definitely a few moments where the CG of the characters looks off. Not like their movement, but just them kind of standing in place, or we just get a weird shot and the CG characters just don't look right. There's just a little few moments here and there where that happens and it's noticeable, but it's not a detriment to the film. I get it that a lot of the budget probably went to seeing the cooler, more heavy CG stuff that happens in the film. The film is very simple. There's very simple writing. There's very simple plot progression. And I'm not saying I want high art from a film called Sonic the Hedgehog, but I do feel like we could have had just a little bit better writing in some of those scenes, like when they're just explaining Shadow's backstory to the Sonic characters. They just straight up say it, get to the point. I do like that we get to the point in a lot of the aspects and scenes in this film, but I felt like not the build-up, but the writing in those dialogue heavy exposition scenes could have been Just a little better, I would say. Let's talk about the pacing real quick. I do like that we get to the point and the main plot of this film. Shadow's here. We got to stop Shadow, basically. I do like that we just get to that, but I do feel like there's a few too many moments where we just kind of stop in the film. And don't get me wrong, I do like those moments that make the film stop, like Eggman meeting Gerald Robotnik. I do like those moments, or that moment in particular, because they just kind of stop the film to have Jim Carrey talk to Jim Carrey, and they make a joke about it too. And as much as I like it, as funny as that scene is, and as humorous and as much character builds for these two characters, I do feel like, wait, we're getting to the shadow stuff. Can we get back to that real quick, please? But I get it. This is probably Jim Carrey's last film. You got to get as much Jim Carrey out as possible. I do like those scenes, but I do feel like there's just a little too much of we just stop real quick. And we stop for a bit. There's a scene later on in the film where Gerald and Robotnik, they have a dance number. Did we need a dance number? No. Was it funny? Yes. Did I laugh my ass off during the entire time? Yes. So I guess it was needed in a way. I guess that's it. I guess that's all the little complaints or critiques I had with the film. Now let's get on to everything I absolutely loved about this film. Keanu Reeves as Shadow the Hedgehog, obviously, is the biggest talking point of this film right now. He's great. Keanu Reeves is awesome as Shadow. He has that cold energy to him, that cold, mysterious, dark energy to that voice. And it definitely adds a lot to this Shadow character. He was perfect for the role, I think. It's not just a big name thrown in there. I think that voice he has is perfect. And I like the Shadow character a whole lot in this film. I think they built up that character really well, especially with his backstory. We get a few flashback sequences in the film. Shadow's kind of lamenting. You feel sympathy for him. You understand his backstory. They show us his past, and it's very tragic. The only friend he's ever had, Maria, was killed. And we get a lot of fun moments of Maria and Shadow bonding together. Maria being Gerald Robotnik's granddaughter. And they have a lot of fun moments together. They have a lot of sweet moments together. And it makes it all the more sad when she dies. It's not a spoiler. It's in the trailers. It's an old game. She dies. Everyone knows that. So it's a real good driving force for Shadow's revenge. And Shadow's revenge relates to Sonic in a way later on in the film. And there's a talk that Tom has with Sonic about being who you are and making the right choices that relates to something that happens later on in the film with Sonic and Shadow. And it leads to a really nice moment of those two characters talking to each other. So all the Shadow stuff is great in the film. You're not going to be disappointed with seeing anything involving Shadow whatsoever. The film is very humorous. I'll say that again. Of course, Jim Carrey playing two Robotniks in this film is incredible. You got to get as much Jim Carrey out as possible because this is probably his last film he's going to do. He said Sonic 2 was his last film, but he came back for Sonic 3. Thank God, because he's awesome in this film. He plays two characters, so he can be nominated for 2 spots in the Best Supporting Actor category for next year's Oscar. He's just that damn funny in this film. We get a lot of fun, wonky, out there moments of those two characters bonding. And it leaves Stone out, Eggman's assistant. So it leads to a nice moment near the end of the film when those two characters interact with each other, I'll say. I'm not going to say what happens. I'll get to that later. But the film is very humorous and funny, mainly thanks to Jim Carrey. But that's not to say that there aren't other funny aspects in the film. Sonic has a few good lines here and there. Knuckles is funny. He has a good few lines here and there. And it's mainly because of his etiquette and how he's like an old warrior type and how he takes things too literally. That's just really funny to me. And the human stuff in this film, it's not bad at all. They're mainly involved in the Sonic stuff. Let's compare Sonic to Transformers real quick. They're old properties that got turned into films. You want to see a lot of the Transformers stuff? Too bad. We got to see Sam getting a girlfriend and Sam going to college and Sam getting a job. The Transformers stuff. What's Transformers? We're talking about Sam Witwicky here. In the Sonic movies, it's all about Sonic. We get a little bit of the human characters here and there, but they're never a detriment to the Sonic films. They're always just involved in the Sonic stuff, so I can't be more happy about that. Tom and Maddie have a few funny moments here and there. They're Sonic and Friends caretakers, basically. There's a funny moment where Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails come back. They're like, hey, we need your help, guys. And Tom and Maddie, they've been doing a lot of taking up hobbies and stuff, knitting and puppetry and building models of stuff. And when they come back, like, oh, thank God we were so bored. It was pretty funny. So those characters have good energy to them. I've always liked them in this film. They were never a detriment in this series. So I want more of them. I'm sorry. I do like them. And Tom has a really good relationship with Sonic, and it's really touching what happens with that aspect in this film because it relates to Shadow. Whatever Tom says to Sonic, he relates to it to Shadow, and they have a nice moment when they're talking later on in the film. All right, I got to get into spoilers now because I have to talk about all the things I loved in this film. I have to talk about spoilers. So, if you want to skip spoilers and just get to the end of this review, you can click to this time code in the time bar, whatever. All right, 3, 2, 1, spoiler time. Shadow goes supersonic. Holy shit, that was so cool to see. So, Sonic is pissed off because Tom's in the hospital. He might not make it because he put a hologram on his face and was like, hey, I'm going to pretend to be this other guy so we can take this key so that the Robotniks can't get it so they can activate this Eclipse. I think it's called the Eclipse. This basically giant gun that'll destroy the Earth. But Shadow sees him and he's like, hey, you're the guy who fucked up my life. Gives him a big sock in the chest and it looks like he's out for the count. It looks like he's dead or going to be dead. And it almost looks like Shadow has a little bit of sympathy for seeing Sonic care. And Sonic's all like, what did you do? Shadow's all like, what I had to. How could you care for someone? I'm going to go blow up the Earth now. See ya. So Sonic's pissed. He begs Knuckles to give him the Master Emerald. There's a really cool moment there where they're about to fight. They're pissed off at each other. Tails is trying to be the middleman. Like, hey guys, don't fight. Well, we can work this out. And Knuckles is all like, all right, you have to go get the Master Emerald from the strongest warrior ever. And it's the guy from the Knuckles show. I didn't watch the Knuckles show. I heard it was pretty funny. Heard it was enjoyable. But I heard it became like the Wade. I think the character's name is Wade. I heard it just became the Wade show later on. But I'm going to give it a watch later because I heard it was pretty good. So it's him. A little funny moment. Sonic gets the Chaos Emerald. Then he becomes supersonic. He fights Shadow, but Shadow's too strong. The emeralds fall out. Then they go and touch them, and then Shadow becomes supersonic. Holy shit. That was so damn cool. Shadow's beating the shit out of Sonic. They're both fighting each other in their supersonic forms. Cool CG moments happening. They're zipping through Earth like they're Super Saiyans. Oh my god, it was so cool. And then Sonic just punches the shit out of Shadow to the moon. And then they fight on the moon for a bit. It was just so damn cool to see. And then right after that, Sonic realizes that he can't kill Knuckles or Shadow. Shadow's like, hit me right here where it hurts. Just do it. And then Sonic remembers what Tom said to him, like, don't forget who you are in here. And Sonic's like, I can't do this. This isn't me. And it leads to a nice moment of those two characters talking, like, this isn't who I am. I know there's pain, but there's something stronger than pain. Love and happiness and friendship. And pain's never going to leave, but it's not all there is. So Shadow and Sonic have that nice little moment. They're on the moon talking, and then the sun comes up. I don't know, the Earth moving, so the sun looks like it's coming up, I guess. And it's really cool. And then Shadow looks or thinks back to what Maria told him, like they're looking up at the stars, and Maria goes, the stars, they could be dead, but the light's still shining. And then Shadow basically says that back, and I'm like, oh my god, it was a nice little callback, a nice little touching moment. So damn cool. And then they realize that, oh my god, this machine's gonna blow up the Earth. What do we do? Then they both go supersonic, and then Live and Learn plays, that cool song from Sonic Adventure 2. Then they both go and destroy a bunch of machines, a bunch of robots that are supposed to defend this Eclipse machine, I think it's called. The Eclipse, that giant gun that's going to destroy the Earth. So yeah, Eggman teams up with Gerald Robotnik, but then Gerald's like, oh yeah, I'm going to destroy the Earth, and it's going to kill us too. Eggman's like, what the fuck? Don't do that. So they have a fight with each other. It's kind of whatever. Has some funny moments, but it's just kind of whatever. But I didn't expect Eggman to shove a quill up Gerald's ass, and then Gerald flies into the fucking vortex of chaos energy or whatever, and just fucking zaps him and disintegrates him. That was pretty funny. I will say that was pretty funny. But it was cool to see Sonic and Shadow go fucking Super Saiyan, supersonic shit, and just blow shit up, destroy shit. And then they save the Earth from getting hit by the giant fucking blast from the Eclipse gun or whatever it's called. But they fucking move the direction of the gun into hitting the moon. And everyone in my fucking theater erupted, "He pissed on the moon!" Because of the Snap Cube video where they do the dub over Sonic Adventure 2 and Eggman's all, and the guy playing Eggman goes, "I'm gonna aim even higher, I'm gonna piss on the moon!" And it fucking destroys the moon. So the machine just fucking rips the moon in half basically. Because they move the gun out of the way. The character Tails, Knuckles, and Robotnik, they're moving the gun from the inside, and Sonic and Shadow are blocking the fucking gun from hitting the earth. So they move it and it hits the moon, and everyone screams out, "He pissed on the moon." I'm sorry, I laughed a little, but it was cool just to see in general. Then Shadow and Eggman, they're all like, "Hey, we gotta move this gun away. We gotta do what's right and move the gun away before it fucking blows up and kills the earth because it's fucking overreacting, overheating, whatever." So while Eggman's containing it, while Shadow's moving it in his Super Saiyan form, basically, Eggman sends out a message to Stone, his assistant, throughout the films. And it was touching because Stone felt like he was being pushed to the side by Eggman because he found Gerald Robotnik, his only family member. And it's a nice touching moment of Eggman saying goodbye. And then he fucking blows up because Shadow moves it out of the way in time before it can affect the earth. And it blows up. Eggman's dead. That's sad. Sad to see him go. But he was great while he lasted. And it's just a nice touching moment between him and Stone. It's just a little message he sends to him. Like a little live feed. But it does suck to see Eggman die. But it was a good send-off. And then Shadow died. He's just gone now. I'll get to that later. Oh, also, there's this really cool pose in the old Sonic Adventure game where Sonic and Shadow, they're like in a cross section. They show that in this movie, but they're just reversed, I think. But holy shit, was it so fucking cool to see. The entire theater just fucking erupted into the cheer like, "Oh my god, they did the thing!" It was so cool. I'm sorry, I can't help but just be so happy about it. So the film's over. Everyone has a happy ending. Shadow sacrificed himself for the greater good. Eggman's dead. Tom's alive. That's good. Team Sonic, Tom, Maddie, the dog, they're having a good time together. They're enjoying life. Then the end credits happen. Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails have a race, but then Sonic gets to New York. This is the end credits. He's like, "I wonder how I get back." Then you see a little beam shoot down on the ground, and then it's Metal Sonic. The entire theater just screamed out, "Holy shit! Holy shit!" And I screamed out, "Holy shit! Holy shit!" I'm like, "Holy fuck! It's Metal Sonic! Holy shit! We're gonna get this! Oh fuck yeah!" So cool. So Metal Sonic goes up to Sonic. He's gonna fucking kill him. He blows him up. But then Sonic's all like, "If you're gonna take a shot at the fastest thing alive, you better not miss." He punches him. He's like, but you can't mimic perfection." They see a bunch of other red eyes just fucking surround Sonic, and there's a bunch of other Metal Sonics. So you're like, "Holy shit, we have a bunch of Metal Sonics and to take on Sonic." And I'm thinking, "Oh fuck, oh shit, this is what we're getting in the next movie, huh?" And then as they're gonna battle Sonic, I'm like, "Holy shit, how long is this end credit sequence gonna be?" The Metal Sonic's gonna kill Sonic, but then you see a fucking hammer hit through the Metal Sonics, and my entire theater fucking erupted. Went, "Holy shit!" Who wields a hammer in Sonic? Amy. Amy wields a hammer in Sonic. Then you see fucking Amy in a ball rolling around, hitting the Metal Sonics with her hammer and shit. And then Sonic's like, "Who are you?" Amy's in a cape. She pulls back her cape. It's Amy. Everyone, "Holy shit! Holy shit!" It was so cool to see. Amy's here. She has a hammer. She's gonna kick ass. The movie's over. And then we got a final end credit sequence of one of Shadow's rings. He takes off his rings before he's pushing the gun. I guess they fall to Earth in a crater. We're zooming in on Shadow's rings. And then you see Shadow's footsteps and his shoes walk up. Live and Learn plays in a cool instrumental way. And then the film ends. Holy shit. What a cool experience. I was at least not hoping, but I thought it would have been cool that because we got Amy, we would get Rouge too. Rouge would be like, I wonder what this is. She picks up the ring and the Shadow will be like, "That's mine," or something like that. But I'm okay that Rouge isn't here because I don't think I'm ready for the shitstorm that's going to be the internet when Rouge is shown in a 3D live action CG style, because the fucking perverts all all over on the internet will just fucking go nuts. So I'm glad we didn't get to see that yet. I'm not ready for that shitstorm yet. But that is the film, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. The sequel's greenlit. We're going to get Sonic the Hedgehog 4. We're going to get Metal Sonic and Amy and hopefully more Sonic characters. I want to see Big the Cat and the Crocodile and the Bee and Cheese, because we got Chows in the film. They're not the Chows though. They're just like characters in a cafe. But I want to see everyone. I want to see all the Sonic characters because we're going to get Sonic the Hedgehog 4. It's going to be so cool. Don't pussy out and not put 4 in the title, okay? Put 4, wear it like a badge of honor because holy shit, I want Sonic the Hedgehog 4. This is so damn cool. So yeah, that's it. I'm so damn happy about this film. So I was very, very much looking forward to Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I got exactly what I wanted. Satisfying story, cool game references, a lot of great action sequences, touching moments here and there. Simple, straightforward, fun story. You're going to have a blast with Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And please, stay for the end because there is so much to cheer for. And it's just an all-around good, enjoyable, well put together film that was definitely worth the wait. And I can't wait for the next film. I'm giving Sonic the Hedgehog 3 a B. Maybe a B plus because I just had so much enjoyment. I think I gave all the films a B. Except I think I gave the first one a B minus. I know I gave the second one a B. I think I'm giving the third film a B as well. Just really damn good. So simple. Get straight to the point. So damn enjoyable. I had just a big ass stupid smile on my face just thinking about it. So, have you seen Sonic the Hedgehog 3? What did you think about it if you saw it? Tell me what you thought about it in the comments below. Tell me what you're excited for seeing the next film. Because we're going to get Sonic the Hedgehog 4, and I'm excited for that. So, tell me what you thought about Sonic the Hedgehog 3 in the comments below, and I'll be back with more enjoyable content like this. So, yeah, bye.